Hello, epic viewers from the multiverse. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting, caffeinating, stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What items will I be unboxing? What items will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What items are encompassed inside this bulky, hefty, tangible, nifty box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify the answer to that inquiry right here and now, so bear with me. It'll only take me billions of picoseconds to extract the items from the box and subsequently swap them in front of the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. Here we go. The boxing process is about to commence. It is officially underway. What items have I extracted? What items have I drawn forth? What items have I elicited? Let's find out. We have a myriad of figurines that are engulfed within this bag. I need to gingerly extract them from the bag. I don't want the integrity of these figurines to become further compromised. Alrighty, who do we have off the get-go? We have the one and only quintessential warrior who's mentally competent, illustrious, revered, Brainiac. Alrighty. Before I meticulously analyze this figurine, I just want to place other figurines back in the box. As you can see off the get-go, he has two pegos embedded in the bottom of his feet. He possesses a diaphragm joint. His knees are not double jointed, nor are his elbows. His arms can move outwards and inwards at your discretion. His legs has some semblance of articulation. They could move outwards and inwards. You shouldn't tamper with the joints. You shouldn't fiddle with them. You don't want to compromise the integrity of the joints. He lacks an ankle pivot. You can rotate his wrists. You also have the autonomy to rotate his forearms if you so choose to. I love his muscle tones are eminently defined. He possesses physical prowess. He can beat his adversaries to bloody pulp. I love his sculpt. I love his hues. I love his shadings. I love his aesthetics. I love his design. I love his deco. He's truly a robust, stellar, meritorious, state-of-the-art figurine. He was sculpted by the Four Horsemen Studios amid the early 2000s. He was produced by Mattel. He's part of the DC Universe Classics action figure line. He's a nemesis, a rival of Superman. He engages and battles against Superman. Obviously, Superman prevails. Superman is practically impervious to damage. So, Superman cannot be decimated. Therefore, Brainiac is preordained to succumb to defeat every time he engages Superman in a battle. It's an unfortunate calamity that Brainiac has to brook, but those are the repercussions of choosing to be sadistic and malicious and coercive. Brainiac knows what he's getting himself into, and he just brooks the ramifications of his own decisions. This figurine's fingers are not fully clenched together, they're semi-clenched together. His fingers are not fisted, or I should say his hands are not fisted. His hands are not fisted. I guess this is a second best pose that your hands could be in if you lack finger joint articulation. I'd prefer they were fisted, but at least now he can wield weapons if you want to equip him with armaments. So, here's Brainiac. Not bad. He's not marred with scratches. He's not inundated with scratches. He doesn't have any major scuffs or dings or dents. Nothing really disconfigures his appearance, or impairs his appearance, or taints his appearance, or distorts his appearance. I can't discern any major scratches or any blemishes or anything like that, so let's just move on. That's Brainiac. Going back into the box, resorting to scouring inside the bag, we have another figurine. Who is this guy, you may ask? His name is an enigma. I don't know his name, to be blatantly honest with you. I'm just being candid. I'm expressing my candor. Maybe you can notify me of it. I can't apprise you of his name because I did not know it. Nonetheless, I love this figurine. He has autonomy to mount him to a stand. He has 2 pegos embedded in the bottom of his feet. Of course, he has a diaphragm joint. You can rotate his waist. You can rotate his forearms. You can't rotate his biceps independently of his forearms. So that's a shame. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can still pose him in nearly any virtual pose that you... Yeah, let me revamp that. You can pose him in nearly any pose that you see fit. He can be placed into nearly any dynamic pose or virtually any pose. He doesn't need to have articulation in every joint of his body. I mean, over 20 points of articulation, in my opinion, is sufficient. Does this figurine have over 20 points of articulation? I'm unsure. That is an enigma. It likely does. Is his appearance uncanny? No. He looks like he's audacious. He looks menacing. He looks conniving and sadistic. He looks cunning. He looks deadly. Of course, he has muscle tones. His outfit or wardrobe is adorned with a belt. Not bad. He has boots, of course. They can't be removed. They can't be detached. Nor can his head wrappings be removed. Of course, you can ascend and descend his head. You can rotate his head. I mean, he pretty much has articulation in nearly every point of his body, with the exception of his finger joints, with the exception of his toe joints. He can't really perform an ankle pivot. I mean, of course, his articulation could be more robust. His articulation could be more prodigious. It could be more extensive. But, I mean, this is pretty sufficient. If you're going to pay under $10 for a figurine, and don't expect to be able to articulate every single joint within his body. I mean, you can't open his jaw or anything like that, but even if his facial expression is predetermined, he still has tremendous merit. I mean, look at this figurine, look at his details, look at his shadings, look at his hues. I can't discern any major flaws. Look at his intricacies down to the nitty-gritty details. I mean, he's a paradigm of perfection. He's an epitome of perfection. He's an embodiment of resounding perfection. I love this figurine. He seems to have a golden face. It's either golden or brown. My vision is abysmal, so I can't really distinguish between the colors without illuminating the figure. My room is relatively dim and dark. There's barely any light in here. I need to replace the lamp fixture's light bulbs. Most of them are burnt out. Alrighty, so moving on, I have another Sinestro. I think I have at least 3 Sinestros now. I may actually have 2, either 2 or 3, who knows. I need to count. I need to do a head count. Is he a carbon copy of the other one I have? Yes, he is. His joints are relatively sturdy. Again, he has a diaphragm joint. He has articulation in the elbow joints, articulation in the knee joints. His knees are not double jointed, nor are his elbows. He has pegos embedded in the bottom of his feet. He has a diaphragm joint. He can rotate his head. He can ascend his head up or down at your own discretion. He could move his arms and leg out. He can move his arms and legs outwards and inwards. He has a belt. He's adorned with the symbol of the Yellow Lantern Corps. I'm unsure what the symbol is supposed to be. I believe it's a symbol of the Yellow Lantern Corps, but you can verify that for yourself. So, irregardless of the fact that he lacks finger joint articulation like a Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurine, he still has tremendous merit. I mean, if the fingers are going to be pre-posed, I prefer if his hands were fisted or if the fingers were semi-clenched together. And in this context, they are. Fortunately, he has fisted hand, and he has one hand that is... He has one hand with fingers that are semi-clenched together. And because of that, he can now wield a weapon. at his own discretion. So you can place an armament in between his hands, and his hands can clench the weapon, or I should say his fingers can clench the armament on his hands. This hand can't really clench anything because it's pre-posed, and even though this hand is pre-posed as well, at least there's an aperture between his fingers, so he can technically grasp a weapon. So here's Sinestro. He truly embodies and captures the essence of Sinestro. He looks sinister. He is quite sinister. He's malicious. He's menacing. He has malintentions. He's malevolent. So here's Sinestro from the front and from the back. I love his attire. Alrighty, so next we have a couple more figurines. This figurine has a lightning bolt symbols, sturdy joints. He has a diaphragm joint, 2 pegals embedded in the bottom of his feet. He can move his arms and knees inwards and outwards. He lacks toe articulation. He lacks finger joint articulation. He can rotate his wrists. He can rotate his forearms at your discretion. He can swivel his head. He could ascend his head up and down. He can utilize his diaphragm joint to perform an ab crunch. What else? He's not marred with scratches. He's not inundated with scratches. He doesn't have any major cuts, blemishes, dings, dents, or marks in any major areas. I love his goggles. It's interesting that they lack a strap, as you can unequivocally see, unless your vision is more abysmal than mine. My vision is perpetually exacerbating. Nonetheless, let's just finish this unboxing before I pass out. He definitely has physical prowess. I love his muscle tones. He's truly mighty. He's truly powerful. He's truly potent in melee combat. He can trounce his adversaries. He can beat them to bloody pulp. He can pummel them to death. So here he is, once again, this glorious figurine. What's his name? I believe his moniker is Black Lightning. That's what he's listed as on eBay, at least based on the seller's description. And what about the other figurines' names that I flaunted? Sinestro and other guy isn't named Jonah Hex. He would be named. Let's see here. It's just 21 random names. Borger or Negative Man. I think his moniker is Negative Man, the other guy. Or is he Havoc? No, he's probably known as Negative Man. Whatever. He's likely villainous or demonic. Alrighty, so last but not least is the one and only, let's see if I can pinpoint his name here. It's 21 random names. Is it Jonah Hex? I want to verify that. I'm making the arbitrary assumption that it is. Okay, well, he has him listed as Jonah Hex. So he's adorned with cowboy attire. I believe he may be a zombie or an undead cowboy. I believe there was a movie based off him. So you can watch a movie based on him at your discretion. He has a holster. He's missing his armament. His fingers are semi-clenched together. I guess he's meant to either wield a single pistol or dual wield. His hat cannot be removed. I love the attire that he's donning. He just looks like a Western hero. I guess that's what he's supposed to symbolize or embody. But based on his facial expression, you can unequivocally tell that he's some type of zombie or some type of undead warrior. So I guess he was slaughtered and reborn. Who knows? He doesn't have a metal badge or anything like that. He has a little belt. He has some ammo clips. Not an abysmal figurine by any means. Definitely an unbelievable DC Universe Classics action figure, sculpted by the Four Horsemen Studios. 2 peg holes are embedded in the bottom of his feet. Unfortunately, he seems to lack a diaphragm joint, so he can't perform the ab crunch, nor can he bend all the way backwards. His skirt impedes his leg articulation. He still can move his legs outwards and inwards, but is encumbered by his skirt. His knees are not double jointed, nor are his elbows. His muscle tones are not really defined. They're obscured by his clothing. I mean, I'm sure he has abs and defined muscles, but you just can't see them because of his clothing. He's not supposed to be feeble or cowardice or dainty. He's supposed to be stoic, unaudacious, and mighty. However, ranged combat may be a specialty. He may be adept in the art of range combat, as opposed to the art of melee combat. So his taijutsu may be abysmal in stark contrast to Superman's or Mike Guy's. So he's more of a long-ranged warrior. Is it long-ranged or long-range warrior? I guess you could say he's more of a long-range warrior. That sounds uncanny and awkward, but we'll just say that for now. He has spurs, I believe they're called spurs, protruding out of his boots. But I guess he's considered a long-range warrior, and he's adept in long-range combat, as opposed to long-range combat. I just wanted to rectify the blunder earlier. He has a little strap for a weapon that he can wield. I'm unsure what his weapons are. I didn't receive them, unfortunately, but I'm not going to pay twice as much money to receive his innate default weapons. I'll just have to make do. He'll have to fight with his bare fists. He doesn't have a choice, right? So that's what I received thus far. This is a third part of the unboxing of the DC Universe Classics action figure lot. This lot is also comprised of some DC Direct action figures, so just be wary of that. If you expect to fully see 100% DC Universe Classics action figures by watching these unboxings of DC Universe figurines, then you mostly see DC Universe Classics action figures, but you won't always see DC Universe Classics action figures, because when I buy DC Universe Classics action figures lots, they're comprised of some DC Direct figurines. So, for instance, let me just further elucidate what I'm talking about. I bought the DC Universe Classics action figure lot, and thus far I've unboxed a multitude of figurines. One of them was a DC Direct figurine. I mean, it's no big deal, but this figurine is not sculpted by the Four Horsemen Studios. You can unequivocally tell. I mean, there's one peg hole, and this design is sculpted, and this points of articulation are not as robust, in stark contrast to a DC Universe Classics action figure that's sculpted by the Four Horsemen Studios. So you can definitely discern their differences and their disparities. And then this figurine too is likely a DC Direct figurine. If it was sculpted by the Four Horsemen Studios, it would likely have more points of articulation, it would likely have more hues, it would likely have more details, it would likely have higher quality shadings, it would likely have a longer cape, it would likely have 2 pegos embedded in the bottom of his feet. So I unboxed 2 DC Direct figurines thus far. But in this video though, I think I just entirely unboxed DC Universe Classics action figures. So just to review once again, just in case you have no recollection of what transpired, we have Jonah Hex, I believe, and then we have Sinestro, this Sinestro is homogeneous to the other Sinestro that I have. I think I have a Sinestro part of the Green Lantern Corps, and then I have a Sinestro part of the Yellow Lantern Corps, or the Yellow Lantern Corps. And then I have this figurine, I believe is known by the moniker of Negative Man, and followed by him I have this character, I think his name is known by the moniker of Black Lightning, and then we also unboxed, I believe I unboxed Brainiac. Was it in this video or the last video? I'm just recording them continuously, incessantly, non-stop, so I'm trying to keep track of which video I unboxed Brainiac in, but it may have been, I think it was in this video though, I'm not sure, whatever, but here's Brainiac. So those are just some of the figurines that I unboxed, and then my previous videos, when I was unboxing this DC Universe Classics action figure a lot, I unboxed Big Barber Batman, and then I unboxed this guy, he's some sort of guardian, I'm sure he's Garden, and then Orion, I'm not sure of his moniker, I believe it's Orion, or Orion, who knows. And then we have Catman, maybe he first debuted in the 1960s, and then we have Gentleman's Ghost. And then I showed you the DC Direct figurines, which look akin to the DC Universe Classics action figures. And then of course we have Guy Gardner. So, not bad, not abysmal by any means. You can likely find them via Amazon or eBay, or perhaps on Craigslist, if you can strike a deal. So, buy them at your own discretion. Do I love them? Do I relish them? Do I love to take a gander at them every day? Of course I do. They're unequivocally paradigms of perfection. To each his own, right? So I hope that you deem this video to be insightful and enthralling. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.